Welcome back to the channel into White Pine County. My name is Caesar. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, I don't know what we're doing. I'm being honest. I kind of just came in and started looking around and looking at the university we put together yesterday, which I'm honestly really happy with. Obviously, things could always go better and things like that, but I'm honestly very pleased with how it turned out. It's been a couple of hours since that video went live when I'm recording this one. And so someone left a comment on the last video there saying the college is by the industry place, so the kids can start looking for jobs immediately, which made me just crack up when I saw that. That's kind of hilarious. So before we get started today, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, consider becoming a member, and join the Discord down below. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. So I guess what we can start looking at is, well, a little bit of an expansion. It's been a little bit since we've really done a major expansion. I guess I say that, but then we did this a couple of episodes ago, which to me now it's been, a couple of weeks since I've done any expansions. The first time I came back, we didn't really do much. Definitely something I want to do. And I think a good place to start is down here. I think we have a really, really good start, but there's always room for expansion, and I want to see this place expand to something a bit better than this, because this kind of, not the best. It's also not the worst though, so I'm not too upset with it either. So what I'm going to start with is just starting with basic road infrastructure. And of course, that's the way we start any city ever, so we're going to start this part. So let's see here. How was our topography first? Right, let's go to topography. Oh, this is actually very bad for expansion. We'll have to run a road down here and expand into this area, but we can't really build here. This is going to be more of just a place to pass the road through. There's no flat land over here, so we can't really build here. So we'll just run probably a local road. There's no need for like a major road. It's not that big of an area. I think we'll run the 4-lane road just to have it over here. But, I don't think it's going to be necessary. It's more of like a just in case. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. So we're going to start with doing some terrain work. Okay, so next what I want to do is start looking at a little bit of a grid over here. And we have some terrain constraints, so we have to be careful with how we're going to do this. And I think we're not going to overcomplicate this, right? We're going to grab our straight road tool here. And you can see how the terrain kind of nudges things in certain directions. So I think the way we'll do this, here's where it goes kind of steepish, right? So we'll go with something like this, because then that keeps that hill on that side and the road on this side, and that'll be fine. We'll take that road to there. That'll be fine. And then we'll use this road to bring over here and connect kind of in this area. So something like this, maybe? Or should we just keep this straight and not make it too convoluted? Maybe that's also an option. Something like that, right? Right. Okay, I'm back to Howard's third. All right, so something like that would be fine, and then we can just connect this up, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And that's going to be annoying. So something like that. Back that up. I guess what I should have done is move this one instead of moving that whole section road there. So 180 degrees, that's fine there. And just like that, maybe. I'm okay with that. I'm not too upset with that at all. Now, instead of this being a perfect angle like this, I'm going to go ahead and curve it. And I think the easiest way is going to be... So, maybe from like here. That creates that nice curve in there. We can get rid of this section in here. And now we have a nice curve that will just continue through here. And that'll just, traffic will just flow a little bit better than having to take that sharp turn that was there at first. And I think that'll be fine. So now we have this little bit of messy road to work with. And I think just a simple way is going to be, honestly, just to run another road pretty much straight through here. And I think right here is going to be the perfect place to do that just because of how the terrain works. I definitely want to build on the water side. I think something like that would be fine. Click again, and that'll connect right there, and that's perfectly fine. And then these two will connect up here. Something super simple. I think a little bit overage is fine. I'm thinking about how I want this connection to work. I don't want that to look like that, obviously, but... Okay, what if I run a road all the way through here so I can kind of zone this area, right? It'd be nice to get some homes here on the edge. I think we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and grab this height here. Just flatten out a little bit of space like that. I know it seems extreme at first, but it's okay. We'll flatten it out, and it'll look a little bit better anyway, so it's nothing to worry about. So we're going to go ahead and run this road. I think just grabbing our straight road tool from here. Something like this would be fantastic. Probably should have grabbed the curve tool here so I can curve that. So let's do that again. We'll run... I guess we do need the straight tool at first, right? So we'll grab the straight tool for now. We'll take it till about here. I think that'd be okay. Now we can grab our complex road tool. There we go. Curve that into there. Keeps a nice curve, and that'll just keep traffic flowing really, really easily and nicely without causing any traffic jams or anything like that. That'll be fantastic. Now this road makes it a lot easier because that road's going to go into a little bit of a dead end. We'll just wrap this road through here. And just like that, that's a super simple connection, and that takes care of that problem. Now the rest of this, we're just going to grid this out. And we obviously have some constraints with like how how these roads are set up, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. And I think one way we'll set this up to make it a little bit easier on us is we'll run a road straight from there, right? And then this road will run straight through here. Okay, and this is just temporary. And I think it'll make it a little bit easier for us to grid this out a little bit. And something like this, I think, would be just fantastic. Because now we get a nice square grid here. And then we'll back both of those up. And we'll just take this all the way forward with our complex curve tool. All the way till that road right there. And then we'll just curve it in like that. And that's fantastic. Makes it a little bit easier for, at least for me, to look at where we're drawing our lines and things like that, our roads and stuff. So that's the reason I did that. Just like that. Easy connection there. And I think right here we'll just leave this open triangle. I think I kind of like that. And I think we'll just zone this out, and I think it'll turn out very nice. And I'm going to go with just the EU housing here, just because I like how those assets look a little bit better than the North American ones, especially when they get to the higher levels. So I think it's going to be something we just put the EU stuff here, and I think we call it a day. Which we do have some flat land here too. We can even zone out another bit of a cul-de-sac going this way. And I don't think that's a bad idea. So now Do we complicate this or do we just keep it simple? I think we'll just keep it simple. Just a super simple cul-de-sac. Like that. No problem at all. Makes it a little bit easier on us, so we don't have to deal with any complex street problems. Now, one thing we want to do is make sure we have some commercial in the area, just to service the area a little bit, and it'll keep people at least a little bit happy. And one thing I want to look at as well is I want to look at a bit of public parks, because parks help raise land value, make people happy, and it's just going to be overall good for the area. I think a tiny city park looks really great. I really like how these things look. That's a little too small though. Let's these large parks would definitely be too massive. Maybe not, right? Well, what if we do like a hedge park, right? Right. Okay. I have to stop doing that. All right, we'll do a hedge park right here. Okay. And then we'll use this as a way to kind of connect a little bit of pedestrian friendly infrastructure. I think something like that will be fine. We'll get rid of that crosswalk, but for now it'll be fine. Now this will cross this way. Just like that. Keeps it nice and pretty. Maybe? I don't know. I like it anyway. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of those crosswalks because they look kind of dumb there. Just like that. Get rid of those. Super simple. Then we'll go back to our zoning. Get the EU low density. And just start zoning this in. I'm going to be pretty deliberate about the zoning. I don't want it to be, you know, like a very, very rural area. I want it to be more like suburban type of feel. So I want to really squeeze in a bunch of low residential housing, which should honestly help with our problem that we're having with our happiness, which is the small homes. I want to address that because if we can get rid of that small home, you know, complaint, I think we'll be in a good spot for further expansion or something down the road. And it just makes people happy anyway, so it's nothing too major to deal with. So now we have to be careful here with our zoning just because of the limited space. I think we'll do just up to 3 blocks deep, and I think that'll be fine. Same thing here, just all the way through this little block here, just to prevent weird sized lots from forming, I guess. Kind of the biggest reason I want to do that. So just till there, that'll be fine. We'll break those down, make sure those form correctly, and that'll be good there. Okay, and then the rest of this is going to be super simple. We're pretty much just gonna we'll grab from there, go all the way to here. I'm gonna pause the game here so I can get the zoning in before I let anything build. Just like that. There we have it. There we go. I think it's just this block left in here, and that's good to go. Yeah, that's fantastic. I really like how that turned out. And of course, as usual, I want to include... What was I just thinking of? My brain just went completely blank. There we go. I want to add a little bit of an elementary school here, just a small one. This like super tiny one. And I think putting it over here by the commercial zone is just perfectly fine. We have a big education problem in our city, and I think if we can sneak in a couple of schools in certain areas, I think it'll just be a good way of dealing with that. Just like that will be fantastic. And then we learned yesterday that we can squeeze in 2 of these classroom extensions on top of each other and it won't break. So we'll do that just to kind of abuse the system and get a couple more students in here. It's obviously way out here, but it's okay. People can drive their kids to school. I think that'll be fine. There we have it. Everything's filling in super nicely. It's going to be really cool to see. Our demand actually went down for low residential housing, which kind of makes sense. People are looking for, you know, cheaper housing, I guess, right? There's a lot of high residential demand, and I think a lot of that's just filled. Obviously, it's the high density stuff, right? But it's also the low rent stuff, which is kind of also a demand there. I'm gonna go ahead and just let the game run here for a couple of minutes and just see how this thing fills up real quick, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, I really like how that's coming out to be. I think it's a good move. Now you can obviously see a lot of terrain difficulties, but it's okay. I want to remove part of this cliff here so it can be a little bit more of like a waterfront property. I think that'll look a little bit better. But you can see why one of the EU buildings, because they have a lot of these style buildings, and I really like how these look. These feel like very suburban America, rather than some of the assets that are in here. Like if you go look at a lot of our American neighborhoods, like some of our original neighborhoods, not there, over here, it's still a lot of these trailers. Like these like really small looking homes. And that's just not what like modern neighborhoods look like in America. These aren't like they don't look like the construction neighborhood homes, you know? Maybe a couple of these, maybe. I know they got to reach level 5 to become some of these buildings, but they just take so long to develop. Sometimes it's kind of a pain. So I think the EU ones provide that variety without having to go insane trying to get them to level 5. So I'm really happy with how that's turning out, and I think it's kind of the vibe that we're going for, right? So it's always good to stick to our vibe, especially as we're going here. So now we got to do a little bit of landscaping stuff to make sure this is looking all right. And I think just some basic things like this, I think are going to just do the job. Like, we don't really have to go super far with this. Obviously, this is kind of a bit of a tight cliff. I kind of want to fix that a little bit, and we'll shrink this down a little bit here. It makes me want to add a little bit more mods to this playthrough, because we can make nice beaches with some of the decals that have been coming out with like some of the mods and stuff like that. Well, that stuff is pretty cool. And you know, next build, like this build only has 19 mods. And our next build has like 50 something mods because of all the assets that I'm not importing, but all the assets I'm installing from the store, from the PDX mods. So I think it's going to be night and day difference between this build and that build. I just don't want to introduce new mods now because we're already so far in. I kind of just want to keep the same kind of build we're going with, and it's honestly very lightly modded. It's not like intense or anything like that, so I want to keep this type of feel to it. I don't want to go intense with this, so we're not going to. But something to keep an eye on. We're going to have a lot more mods next playthrough, and I'm super excited about it, so just keep that in mind. All right, so we got this terrain a little bit sorted here. We got rid of this cliff. I think we got to do a little bit of terrain work over here. There we go, just like that. And one thing I want to do to make this neighborhood feel different is I'm going to go into our bulldozer, right? And I think, let me just figure out which one this is. Is it this one? Maybe it's this. I'm trying to... See, I don't want to destroy the house itself, right? But I want to destroy the grid here. Is that? There we go. That's what I want. Not the grid. I want to destroy this, like, pre-installed grass and pretty much this entire neighborhood. And I think it'll feel a little bit different and a bit more natural than the other neighborhoods I felt. I don't like this like manicured grass look in every single house. I think it's insane to have this in every single property. I think they should remove that from a lot of the assets, if I'm being honest. Maybe some of the mansions can have it, but like every single house having a perfect lawn just doesn't make sense to me. Just feels unnatural to me. So I want to remove it from all these houses, and I think it'll just feel a little bit better, so. Okay, so I went through, removed all of those artificial looking grass, and I think this looks a little bit better. This is how I feel like a lot of places would just look. All the grass looks the same, right? There's no fancy grass, it's just a regular neighborhood, right? I think that's fine. See, you We can already see some of these bigger houses coming in. I really like how these look. And these are all tier 1 houses too. Like, you don't have to get no crazy tier houses for those. I think that just looks really good. And what kind of businesses opened here? I don't think it matters. They're all going to be utilized anyway. This road is already getting use. This neighborhood's going to use a lot of this highway connection here anyway, so it's kind of good that we built this here. I'm hoping a lot of this death care stuff can be handled without having to build a new cemetery or something like that, but I don't think it's going to be able to. And I don't really have room for a cemetery in this area, so we'll have to find room for that. I guess what we could do, because I don't think we ever added any death care in this area. No, we didn't. Is we'll just go into here and grab a crematorium, go over to our clinic here and just put a crematorium right next to it, next to our clinic, and that'll be fine. I just realized I put those right on top of each other. We're going to go ahead and move those real quick because that's kind of insane. Let's go in here, grab our single node move mode, move this over here. That works. I'm okay with that. And this will at least be able to service this area with death care needs, which is going to be good because there's no real services in this area besides, well, those couple of services there. So that's going to be able to service this area, and that'll be fine. There we go. It's going to become less of an issue, and it'll look at least work a little bit nicer. There we go. I'm going to smooth this out. It's not going to work. There we go. Okay. I think that's fine right there. And then what I want to do is do a little bit of work here in this park. And this is where we're going to do a little bit of the custom grass and things like that, right? So I'm going to go through and remove all these trees. And we're going to run this through all the way like this, and this will help it look a little bit more custom. And this is the neighborhood that I want to look custom. Like I said, I can't wait for City Skylines 2 to have a parks DLC, how City Skylines 1 had, because we'll be able to build custom parks and just make it all look super fantastic. But I think this looks really cool. And I like this feel to it just because of this this park here, and it kind of brings it all together, I think, anyway. All right, we're going to go ahead and run these paths through here. Oh, probably shouldn't have done it like that. Just like that. Connect that there, and that'll be fine. Another connection there. And I think that's fine here. We have connections there, connections here, and that'll be enough for people to walk through. Just like that, you can see people already walking through. Getting usage, which is exactly what I wanted. If you remember from the beginning of the series, we took our time and really, or I think it's this, is it this park? No, this park. I really liked how this park turned out. I think this felt really nice. I want to do something like this again and kind of make it feel like it's super well put together and like it's meant to be there, like it was purposefully designed for the area. That's kind of what the vibe I want to go for. So I think if we get the cultivated bush number 1, right? I went through, spent a little bit longer than I probably would have originally, but I think it's for the good of the build, right? I think it's for the good of the community. I think this just looks really, really nice. I really enjoy how this turned out. Yeah, happy with it. So that's kind of all I wanted to do with that so far. All right. So now we got a little bit of more detailing to do though. We're not done. And I want to fill in a little bit of this area with a bit more vegetation. It feels kind of empty, and I don't really like this kind of empty vibe. I like my dense forests. You guys know me by now. I like my dense forest. We're going to turn off anarchy, and we're going to grab our... We'll go specific with certain trees here. We're not going to go with every tree like usual. We'll go with a little bit of these London plains. There we go. And we're going to for sure go with the oak trees. I love the oak trees. You guys know I love my oak trees. And then we're going to go in with some birch, just like that. Spray those in there. And finally, we're going to go with some hickory. Fill in this rest of this area like that. And make it feel a little bit more like a dense forest, which is my favorite type of build. It just fills things nicely, and it just looks a lot nicer in my opinion. It's better than just a plain field, and it feels like the city spent a little bit more money making the area feel a bit nicer, right? So that's exactly why I did that, and I think it's going to be really well. I think I missed a couple of these things here, so let's go ahead and grab our tool again here. I think it's one of these. I don't remember which one it is. Is it this one? No. This one? No. This one? There it is. Get rid of those there. I don't know how I missed those. Oh, the house is upgraded and they came back. That's right. Oh, no. So I think if they come back, it's fine because it's kind of natural. Some people will have it, some people won't, and I think that's kind of fine. That just feels a lot nicer. So I think, yeah, we'll just let it free flow. If they have it, they have it. If they don't, they don't. I think that'll be good. Yep. That's good. How cool would it be to live here, though? It's a really nice park. Are these people just frozen? Oh no, he was just stretching or something. All right, so final thing I want to do is go through and just kind of fix a lot of these terrain issues that we're looking at right here from this construction. And it's going to be super simple. A lot of this stuff doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Don't need to overcomplicate it, and it looks really good in my opinion, so that's kind of all that matters. And I guess so that was my last thing, but that's not the last thing. Last thing I want to do is go ahead and go in through here and put the green sidewalks, get rid of parking on the sidewalks there. And I think it'll just look a little bit better if we do that, so we'll go ahead and do that now. And then we should probably provide a little bit of parking. Maybe some parking? I'm gonna place that down. And even though this is gonna be kind of a pain to do. Okay, let's cancel that. Oh, did not mean to do that. Okay, that's fine. We'll just replace it. It shouldn't be too difficult to do. I guess what would be easier way to do this is just pick this up, turn off anarchy, and I delete these paths just like that. Just like that. Super simple. Gonna grab this, replace it down with anarchy off. Right, anarchy off. It's not gonna let me really just get rid of those, really. All right, there we go. So the last thing we just got to replace, get some more popular trees in here. It looks like a lot of them got kind of split up when we destroyed a lot of that. So super simple like that. Draw a couple of lines in. Draw one more in here. Could honestly just probably manually place this like that. It's gonna be annoying. Let's put anarchy on and place one down manually. Exactly where it needs to be, and that'll look better than just being a little bit lopsided. That works. There we go. Now we have parking on this side. Park right there. Provides a little bit of parking for the neighborhood, especially because we removed all the parking. And I think that'll be fine. Just like that. I doubt a lot of this will be used anyway, but I think it's just a nicer amenity to have parking here at the park anyway. I feel like it makes a little bit of sense, and we'll just do free parking, and that'll be good to go. We'll do free parking over here too. There's no need to be charged for it. Just like that. But I think we did a lot of good work today, and I'm super excited on what I did. So please join me next time. It's been an absolute pleasure, and until next time, bye-bye.